Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today, we're out here cutting wood. We're clearing a house site for my oldest son, Joshua, and we've got lots to do. We started cutting up a lot of the down trees that were taken down. It's going to provide a lot of firewood for the next year, so that's good for that. But it's just going to take some time, and we've cleared a number of trees already, got them cut up, and I've got a big old burn pile behind me there, and we're ready for our first burn pile, but we're going to have several burns for sure to get rid of some of these tops. The majority of the good wood we're going to keep, although I understand that the more I cut, the less time I've got to work on cutting up trees. I want to get these things cleared out and done before we can start actually building on the house site. So yeah, the economy is kind of what I'm talking about today, because we're talking about housing prices. I think the median house price right now in this country is like $400,000. I mean, is that real? Like something around there? Your children are not going to be able to afford a home. That's just, it is what it is. So if you think that your children are going to be able to work up and save like you did or like your grandparents did and afford a home, you're living in a dream world. That's not going to ever happen. Why is that not going to happen? Because of the loss of buying power of our dollar. You can blame BlackRock, you can blame this or blame that, but the reality is they are printing money into oblivion. So the other day, I think I saw the headline like $43 billion or something like that was basically issued by the Treasury and bought by our own country, or issued by the Fed or bought by the Treasury. What that is quantitative easing. That's quantitative easing. That's money printing. They just printed whatever, 43, 42, whatever it was, billion dollars into existence by offering these treasury bonds and then buying them at the government level. That's printing your own money. And people don't understand what that's entailing. I've told you for a long time on this channel that inflation is not going to go away. So it came to my mind as I was cutting up this wood and thinking about the median home price for a lot of people today and how it's just not going to be affordable for the next generation or even current generation, some of the younger ones. Do you know why throughout history so many people, when the wilderness or when the West opened up, so many people flocked there in order to get a piece of it? Do you know why? You think, well, they wanted their own land. Yeah, that's true. But historically, the way it's always been done, and I'm talking about through thousands of years, and you even see it in the Bible, one patriarch starts and then the next generation picks up what that patriarch did and then carries it on. So you had Abraham, then you had Isaac, and then you had Jacob, and they all built on the wealth of each other. That's a biblical term, but that's the way it's always been done historically for thousands of years. You find many historical references, even outside the Bible, that refer to that. And then you took the wealth on from your father and his father, and then you built onto that. And if you were a good steward of that wealth, you were able to hold on to it, manage it well, and then grow it. If you were a poor steward, then you lost it. And, and we see that actual reference in the Bible a few times as well. My point being, when land opened up, and they even made a movie about it, Far and Away, with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. But there's been numerous movies where this has been referenced. I think Hell on Wheels was another one. I forgot the name of all the stars that were in that show. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, when these things opened up, when these either Homestead Acts were allowed because of the territorial legal system or whatever, when land opened up, people flocked to it because not only were they trying to get land, but they understood that if I can get land, I can ensure my legacy for my generation years down the road. I can ensure the legacy of my children's children. And that's something that has always been important until recently, when we have completely lost, how that works and the value of that. You always want the best. You should always want the best for your children. Today, we have no concept of that. Everyone's trying to get what they can get right now. Everyone's living for the moment. it's just, everything's a mess. Everything's a complete mess. What's my point? My point being is that if you are in a place where you can get out of the city and get a place now, hopefully have it paid off, bugs everywhere, hopefully have it paid off, and then build on it so that you can ensure your children's future. I have told my son and my sons since their very early days that you would be a complete fool to go out in the world and then start your own wealth, to start your own career, and to start your own stuff. You should be taking what your grandfather and I have built and then take that down and pass that down to your children and manage it well along the way. If you can do that, why would you go out into the world and, join the rat race? We've got, listen, I don't have a lot of acreage here, but I have enough where I can put my children's homes, my son's homes on it, and probably their sons' homes as well. Today they're building homes on a 1/16 of an acre, an 1/8 of an acre, or something like that. You can definitely build, if you get a few acres, you can build and partition it out for your family. Put it in a living trust or some other sort of legal protection where you can pass that down for your kids and ensure that it's going to be here for them and for their children. That's what we've tried to do here. And that's where we're at in our journey, our homestead journey right now. Our homestead journey has brought us to the place where we're now clearing land and getting those homes ready for my boys. Okay, so that one day they can have families and, they can raise their kids and have a wife and do all that and just, eke out their own existence with as little governmental influence as possible, because we don't have a lot of zoning here, regulation and ordinances and all that nonsense. There's no homeowners association here. Everyone's going to be different depending on where you're at. But I've told people, get to a place where you have at least a lot less of those things so that you can grow and still prosper your family. Because right now, the majority of what we're living in, you cannot grow and prosper a family anywhere where the median house price is $400,000. You just can't. Our monetary system is going the way of the dodo bird. There's lots of coverage on this in lots of different places, and I've talked about it ad nauseum on my channel. I don't need to talk about it again. But if you don't believe me, that's on you. If you think you're going to keep going down this road you're on, and you're going to live in suburban world, and you're going to live without all of this, it's not going to affect you somehow, and it'll just keep going. And $400,000 is just the new median. What was the median house price on the year I was born? Someone leave a comment what the median house price is now, and someone leave a comment about what the median house price was in 1976 when I was born. I was born in 1976. Someone will look it up and post it in the comments. If you can't see the buying power of your dollar flying away, then you're blind. You're absolutely blind to what is happening in this world. And, I believe it's the last days, but, I have to prepare and plan like it's not, because just in case it's not, I want my kids to be able to prosper. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below. So here's the deal, guys. I am going to be at the Homestead Freedom Festival in Paris, Illinois, coming up at the end of this month, June 20th through 21st. I will have my Perfect Pickler booth up, as well as some Homestead t-shirts for sale. The Stupid Should Hurt shirt will be for sale there on Friday. And Saturday, I'll be there, but I'll just be visiting around and, talking with folks, visiting, and fellowshipping with some other believers who I know are going to be there. So I'm looking forward to a really good time over at that Homestead Freedom Festival in Paris, Illinois. You can find information about that event over at my events page on anamericanhomestead.com. Please go to that website, anamericanhomestead.com. Go to the events page. You can see that event, and we have another event coming up in Marshfield, coming up in September. That's going to be a really big one too. So check out that event if you're interested. If you're in the Paris, Illinois area or anywhere around the Midwest and you want to travel. I know people, last event we went to, where were we at? I forgot. Whatever that last event was on there. I'm tired, man. I've been out here cutting wood all day. And so there was someone who traveled from Oregon, and there was someone who traveled from Connecticut. Drove. So that's fantastic. So we get people from all over every time we do some of these things. People are eager to learn. The chances for you learning are just about over. You need to be out there learning if you can, and then putting some of these things in practice. The rest you're going to learn on the way. You're going to go through the school of hard knocks like all of us have done. And that's okay, because that teaches you valuable lessons. But if you're interested in learning a lot of great stuff, I will be speaking on the Organic Homestead that day on Friday also. And I believe also I'll be speaking on fermentation. And not just vegetable fermentation. I'll be talking about all of the ways we have been eating foods throughout human history that were fermented. Meat, dairy, vegetables, all kinds of things. That were all baked goods. All of that stuff is fermented in one way, shape, or fashion before we actually consume it. And so that's one of the things I want to talk about. It's going to be a great talk. I hope you'll join me over at the Homestead Freedom Festival. June, I believe it's 20th to the 21st. In Paris, Illinois. More information is available at my website at AmericanHomestead.com, and you can find more information at PerfectPickler.com. I really appreciate you guys visiting and sharing that link. The more you guys share that link, PerfectPickler.com, the more my search engine rankings go up. So if you have a website, or if you have Facebook, or if you have a wherever, social media, you share my link, and that helps my search engine results. I really appreciate that. Those of you who've been doing that, we've noticed, because our search engine results are definitely going up. I really appreciate you all who do that. All right, love you guys. We'll see you next time at the Homestead. Bye! Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.